There is a lot of apathy and hopelessness in the world right now. It seems like we start to get underneath and start to flatten the curve with the virus, and now it's spiraling. You know, it looks like we're doing pretty good, and then we hear about another swine flu that may turn into a pandemic. And then we start to hear about the forces of nature where there's this big storm coming in the Gulf. You know, then we hear about the locusts taking over in another side of the world in India. And then we hear about what's going on with Hong Kong, and they're losing their autonomy, you know, to mainland China. If you start to look at it, there's not a whole bunch of good news out there. And there's a tremendous amount of upset around that. And we don't know how to make sense out of what we look at on a day-to-day basis. So I recommend you take a deep breath, a really deep breath. And I recommend you start to get clear about what you will do about your life. It is really important. Yes, all of those things are happening. And yes, there are all these myriad of possibilities about how the world could come to an end. I mean, there's people saying this is, you know, the end of days. This may be true. I mean, it may be true. This is the end of days. But we're not going to change that. We're not going to be able to end anything that's going on right now. I say live. I say the answer is Live, live. Well, how do you live? You start to get clear about what your life is going to be about. Because here's what's clear. You're not going to do anything about the locusts in India. You're not going to do anything about ending the coronavirus other than doing what you need to do to stay personally in tune with the protocols. I mean, you're not going to go out there and create the vaccine. You're not going to go out there and gather data unless that's what you do for your life. You're not going to end what Mother Nature does this time of the year, which is hurricanes and storms and flash floods. You can't do anything about that. You know what? Here's the secret. You go to work on your life. That's all you ever want to work on. You look at those things and go, you know, I really get that. But don't use what is going on in the world to weaponize and destroy your own life. Literally take on your life. This is the perfect time to take on your life. Let me tell you why. Because the world is not mobilized. That means you can take your time to start to look at things in a different way and get sorted out about things you've never been sorted out about. You got master classes all over the internet from really great people who know wonderful things about the different disciplines and crafts and arts that are out there. What do? Take on your life. So here's how you do that. You want to sit down and look at where do you want to be in the next 3 to 5 years? What is your life going to look like? The way you say you want your life to look like. I promise you, if every person lived from their purpose, the world would work. It really is. You take on your life. That adds up to the world changing if enough people take on their life. I promise you, you take on your life, you'll stop worrying about the locusts in India, and you'll stop worrying about what about that storm in the Gulf Coast. And you'll even keep doing what you're supposed to be doing with your protocols for the pandemic. And you'll find yourself in a far different place than you are right now. Trust me.